Welcome to Fextralife's 2019 Game of the Year Awards. The Fexy Awards feature our favorite games of the last 12 months, but with a different twist than most sites, we focus on the games our community loves. These are the winners of this year's Game Awards. Best Storytelling, Death Stranding. Death Stranding was hyped to oblivion by the industry's cult-like following of Hideo Kojima. We had some reservations about the game setting some extremely high expectations, and the slow start and gameplay pace reinforced those initial doubts. We stuck with it, however, and could not be more happy we did. Death Stranding's rocky start is just an excellent setup to a significant sense of achievement as you connect the broken world, and the storytelling is simply superb. If you're looking for a powerful story with a compelling delivery, this is your Game of the Year. Best Gameplay, Devil May Cry 5. If you read our DMC5 review, you knew this was coming. Devil May Cry 5 brought the series back to its roots and delivered unparalleled gameplay executed beautifully and with consistent, remarkable performance. As I progressed through the game's many encounters, I found myself wanting to redo them to get that combat rank up and showcase my moves to perfection, and that drive to keep playing comes from the fact that any frustration I felt with the fights was 100% my own fault and a result of my execution mistakes. I never felt an enemy was cheap or an attack unwarranted, but rather that I could have done better and gotten that SSS ranking if I had only just fill in the blank. Best Visual and Audio, Death Stranding. This award was a difficult choice as Jedi Fallen Order also has phenomenal graphics, voice acting, and incredible world design. If this award was simply about the graphical portion of the game, I think we'd have to give it to Fallen Order, but it also includes audio, and Death Stranding has by far the best soundtrack and voice acting of any game we've played this year. You can't help but get goosebumps as you walk the lonely world to a musical score that just sets an empty, eerie feeling, fully immersing you into the game. Best Multiplayer, Remnant from the Ashes. Remnant from the Ashes as a single-player game has some solid gameplay, but what really makes the game shine is its multiplayer experience. Slaying hordes of enemies with a friend or two is loads of fun, and the fact that bosses change mechanics to account for more players is quite incredible. If you haven't played Remnant from the Ashes yet, we strongly suggest you do, just don't do it alone. Trust us when we say it was designed specifically for cooperative play, and you will not regret it. Best Value, Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Monster Hunter World takes the same prize 2 years running thanks to the Iceborne expansion. The base game gave you 50 hours of basic story mode, which unlocks at least another 50 hours of advanced hunting, and is then buffed up by free DLC and events. With Iceborne, you can get all that times 2 for 60 USD, as the expansion adds another 100 plus hours of content and continues to deliver weekly events and ad-free content with Master Rank DLC and events. This is fantastic value for those who missed out on the base game, and a worthy upgrade of 40 USD for those like me who have played hundreds of hours already. Best Soulslike, Code Vein. Picking the best Soulslike in a year where From Software released what could be called a Soulslike is rather challenging. However, we felt that Code Vein lived up to the aspects that we love about Souls, while adding its own unique flair and distinctive touches, trademark of the God Eater team. Bandai Namco went from publisher to developer, and it actually worked out quite well. Delivering intense boss battles, mysterious NPCs, weapon categories, and upgrade systems alongside a horrifying swamp, Code Vein ticked many Souls boxes to give that feel, while also innovating by giving us a myriad of builds thanks to the Blood Code system. DLC is just around the corner in 2020, and we're hopeful they'll also begin work on a sequel sometime soon. Best DLC, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Fate of Atlantis. Although Monster Hunter World Iceborne is technically DLC, we felt that it was more of an expansion, and its mammoth size made it more akin to an actual game, especially at $39.99 USD retail. For this reason, we chose Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Fate of Atlantis for our best DLC of the year, and if you haven't played it, it's perhaps one of the best DLCs for any game ever released. Not only is its setting breathtaking and a sight to behold, but the music, storytelling, and gameplay are simply outstanding. I cannot think of another DLC that I've enjoyed as much in a really long time, making this an incredibly easy decision. Best Indie, Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium is a game that makes you think, makes you laugh, and rewards you for your failures as well as your successes. The attention to detail in the writing of the game and the intricate web of choices and consequences is like nothing we've ever seen in a game before. In fact, Disco Elysium feels more like a choose-your-own-adventure than a game in some respects, as it leans heavily on its dramatic and humorous writing to carry the game through. If you've been looking for a game that thinks outside the box that has become the gaming industry, Disco Elysium is that game. Best Surprise, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars games in recent history have been terribly mediocre for the most part, and time again players like myself get their hopes up only to be let down. That was until Jedi Fallen Order. It isn't the best Star Wars game ever made or even close to it, but it's definitely the best Star Wars game in the last decade. Its special effects, voice acting, music, and beautifully rendered environments helped to carry the game through uninspired gameplay. Jedi Fallen Order is a Star Wars game that any fan of the series should play, and that is saying something. Game of the Year, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is an expedition into From Software's ability to create a game that focuses on what they are most famous for, and that is their precision combat. Sekiro takes the formulas of Dark Souls and Bloodborne and raises them to even higher heights, creating a combat system that makes players jump, dodge, deflect, attack, parry, and riposte over and over until it feels like a rhythmic dance. The journey a player takes from start to finish is something that is hard to describe if you haven't experienced it yourself. The satisfaction of going from a newbie who could barely beat an ogre in 20 tries to someone who can take on Ishin the Sword Saint and first try him even months later is unparalleled in gaming. The change from fear of the unknown and certain death to elation as blades clash and you know exactly what to do and when to do it is addicting, and it compels you to keep pushing the boundaries of what is possible. The sky is the limit for your badassery in Sekiro, and it is quite memorable getting there. Best community member, Zeus Q. Our forums and Discord boast 91,000 and 31,000 members, so picking a member of the year is always a challenge. This year, we're going to put the spotlight on Zeus Q, who has taken the unusual step of gifting hundreds of Twitch subs to other users so they may enjoy ad-free viewing on Twitch, a private channel on Discord, and of course, our awesome emotes. He is not the only one to have taken to this, and there are too many to mention, but please give a round of applause for Zeus Q, Tron PL, Lord Carathon, and Lynn the Weeb, and of course, a highlight to Alex Thug Nasty and Noja877 for their substreaks. Best blog author, Landguard. Community member Landguard has contributed insightful content throughout the year. Taking on a variety of games from Anthem to Blasphemous to Atelier, his reviews have been in-depth and well-researched. Always friendly and open, Landguard is on the lookout for more games to review, so feel free to message him with suggestions. 2019 brought some surprises and delivered some great content, even if it was a bit quiet RPG-wise. You can count on 2020 being pretty crazy, with Cyberpunk 2077, Neo 2, Code Vein DLC, The Last of Us 2, and Elden Ring. Be sure to check out our video on the top upcoming games of 2020 if you haven't already, as it's a very, very exciting list. Thoughts on our picks for this year's awards? What was your favorite game of 2019? Do you think Elden Ring will take all the awards next year? Be sure to let us know in the comments.